Hi everyone, this is Michelle with She Lit the Way. Today I have an extra special reading for you. This is a past life reading. So this is a past life that may be affecting your life at this time. I set that intention when I pulled the cards. So I have 4 piles for you to choose from. The first pile is Tiger's Eye. And the piles can resonate according to the stone for you, or just the number of piles, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pile number 2 is Red Jasper. Pile number 3 is Sunstone. And pile number 4 is Pink Agate. So take a moment, choose your pile, and I will see you at your reading. Okay, if you chose pile number 1 or the Tiger's Eye, this is your past life reading. So this may be affecting you at this time. So I've used multiple decks, and this is the Halloween Tarot, and this is going to be one of the residual energies of the past that may be affecting you now. So let's see what this one is. The 5 of Pumpkins. So the 5 of Pumpkins is talking about loss, or feeling as though you don't have as much as others. Feeling as though you haven't reached maybe your true potential. There's like a striving energy with this one. And then the next cards are, let's see, the fairy cards. We have Oh No, Captive Man, the Prince of Light, and the Remembrance. Definitely a masculine energy is coming through with the cards. And these are the past life cards. Karmic Relationship, Father, Monk or Nun, Lessons and Blessings. Okay, definitely starting to get a picture now. You guys can also take a look at the cards and see what you are feeling off of them. And this card, Doreen Virtue's, let's see, Life Purpose cards. So this was, when I pulled this one, I was thinking about, you know, what was your life purpose in that lifetime? Oh, options, that's interesting. We'll find out more about that. And these cards, these are the vice versa cards. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, Temperance, 4 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. And then the last card, when I pulled this one, it was just the energies that you may be bringing from that lifetime into this lifetime. Perchance to Dream. I'm just curious if you guys can pick up anything from these cards. You can even pause the video and see what you see. So definitely this lifetime there was a feeling of lack of money, or a lack of interest in money, and that may carry over into this lifetime. Or it could cause you some anxiety that you have this deep down feeling of kind of like no path, that feeling of not having a path and not having direction to go and how you're going to get money. There's definitely a financial issue here. Overall, the energy that I'm getting off of pile number 1, the tiger's eye, is that you are in some kind of religious situation, like a priest, but I'm also picking up a soldier. So I know we have this monk or nun, and I am picking up that lifetime, but I'm also picking up a soldier type energy. An energy where your career completely takes you away from that family unit. You may have a wife, you may have children, but it's like that is not your focus. That is not important to you as much as what it is that you are doing. So as far as like the priest, as far as like the army, some kind of branch of the military, that was the absolute most important thing. And that had taken you away from your family. So I do feel as though with like the captive man, this is talking about that career. This is talking about, you know, going to war, military being important. I don't feel as though captive in the sense that you were captured, put in jail. I don't have that type of feeling. It's more that the whole energy is it takes you away from family and other things. And I also feel that as far as, you know, being a priest. We have the Prince of Light. So your focus was definitely on improving lives around you, but also, again, I get this deep sense of self-focus. Taking care of what is expected of you to do. Even if you feel like you don't have a choice. And that's where this oh no situation comes in. To where, you know, you may have wanted to pursue this. It may have been something that's caused an interest in pursuing, but then there was almost like a forced into priesthood, a forced into the military. And with the remembrance, I feel like this has affected you over so many lifetimes. It's almost like you sense that choice was taken away from you. And this may be affecting you in this lifetime. So we have karmic relationship. I feel like you had to do what you had to do because of the karmic relationship of the situation. Paying back karmic debts, going into the military without wanting to, maybe going into priesthood without wanting to, knowing that it would take away from your life instead of adding to it. It was just something that you had to do. You were a father in this lifetime. And like I said, I do pick up children, a wife, the monk or nun, going back to someone really important with the priesthood. Lessons and blessings. You feel as though you had to do this, you had to take this route, and also along the way you were learning. So the lessons and blessings, you were able to see how important your family is and was to you. You may be experiencing that in this lifetime too. Maybe you are a workaholic. Maybe you have a family. Maybe in this lifetime you're a woman. Your husband has left you. You have to figure out what to do. And this takes you away from your children for many hours of the day. You may be feeling some guilt and that energy of this is just what I have to do. There's no other way around it. You don't have a choice in the situation. That is like this whole reading. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is you looking at that lifetime as, you know, you had all these opportunities to do things and it was cut short. There was a lot of healing in this lifetime. So whatever has taken you away from your family, there was ample time for you to process information, get some healing from it. But I do feel like this healing has traveled over into this lifetime that you're still trying to repair. The Four of Wands is basically turning your back on your family. But once again, it's that control issue. You had to do it. You may feel in this particular lifetime that you're living right now, you may feel like you're carrying a lot of the masculine energy. And one of the things that I would ask you to do would be to look up the Divine Feminine and start working with the feminine side of yourself, the feminine energy. Because this is heavily masculine. This card here is the Six of Pentacles. And what it's showing me is that you had some type of authority to where you ruled over a group of people, maybe a land, maybe a community. You were overseeing, such as in military or being a priest. You were just overseeing and were responsible for many, many people and their well-being. And again, this was something that you had to do. It was a forceful energy. It was, you know, turning the back on the family for this one major reason. I don't know if you were in a time of like World War I, World War II. I'm actually feeling as though it's even farther back from that. But if you resonate with one of those wars, then very well could be that time. I think this lifetime you are going to look at your options, and I think you're going to try to stay away from anything that makes you feel as though it really takes you away from the things that you find important. I think this will be a huge struggle for you. This will be one of your karmic lessons that you're still working on. You're still working on the energy of this lifetime, of choices being taken away from you. This time, you need to be very open and surround yourself with opportunity and options to be able to not feel that control and bogged downness, if that's even a word. And then we have perchance to dream. So this is, once again, that energy of being locked in and desiring so deeply to be able to have a different life. This was not the life that you wanted to live. You feel as though this was the life that was just handed to you. And in people's energies and thought forms of those times, there was without question, it's just something that you did. You had to do it, so you go do it. And I don't feel as though, I'm not getting anything as far as you dying from this situation. Like if you were in a war, I don't feel as though you died in that war. And then with the 5 of Pumpkins. So loss. You feel as though the loss of your family, even though you still have the family, you weren't able to really interact. Because in the time frame that I'm seeing, it is like way, way back. So loss of family and no interaction with them. Money was not a given with what you did. So I know nothing about that time or religious stuff to be able to say, you know, religion now, they have big, huge, beautiful churches, you know, everyone donates. I don't know how it was way, way back then if the churches were huge because of donations, but I feel as though for you, there wasn't that flow of money. There wasn't that abundance. And so you were stuck in a feeling of all around lack in emotions, lack in finances, lack in mobility, in what you could and could not do. Okay, so that is what I'm getting for pile number 1. This is very interesting. So keep your options open. Know that if you're experiencing the mindset of lack, it could possibly be from this lifetime. And with a little bit of intention setting and seeing that reality of the past life, maybe that can be just enough of a shift for you. Also, that masculine energy, realize that you can go more and learn more about the divine energy to help balance you out. Right now, I just feel as though probably from this lifetime to this lifetime, you're a go-getter. You're someone that, you know, you have to put your job or whatever it is that you do to make money, you put that first above all else. And there's a sense of guilt, but there's also a sense of pressure. So I would definitely recommend meditating if this reading resonates with you, just to see if you can loosen up some of those karmic ties, some of those energetic cords, and kind of set yourself free. Because this was that lifetime, and now you're in a new lifetime, and I hope this helps unblock you a little bit. Thank you, pile number 1, and I will see you next time. Okay, pile number 2, Red Jasper. This is your past life reading. So let's have a look at the Halloween tarot. This is some energy that may be residual, that's coming through this lifetime also, but also expressing your past life. So we have the 2 of Pumpkins. So right off the bat, there's some confusion. There's a feeling of not knowing. Things aren't laid out for you. Possibly repeating energies, looping. Okay, let's see. The Queen of the Golden Bow. The Messenger. These are fairy cards from Brian and Wendy Froud. Okay, so very powerful energy already here. So far I'm not seeing the confusion. We will keep going. These are past life cards by Doreen Virtue, I believe. Trees. The Arts. Spouse. Medicine Man or Woman. Okay, it's starting to come together now. Doreen Virtue Life Purpose cards. Sensitivity. And music. Oh boy. Okay. The Devil. 8 of Cups. Make sure you can see these, sorry. Okay, Queen of Cups. The Emperor. And the 4 of Cups. And Revenge. Okay. Let's see, where shall we put this one? Put this one here. Okay, so you and your husband, I'm getting a definite feminine energy here. You were an artist. You have many musical cards here. So we have the actual music card. This was your life purpose. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. Sensitivity. You're becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. So you've probably carried this energy over into your life now. You may play some kind of musical instrument. With the Queen of the Golden Bow. So I feel like you were honored for your beauty, honored for your musical ability. I am getting an energy of your spouse who was also prominent, and he felt as though he had to compete with you. Now, whether he was in the same type of entertainment as you, I don't know, I'm not getting that. He felt as though all eyes should have been on him, but all eyes were always on you. You had this inner and outer beauty, and I think you connect to that in this lifetime that you're living right now. There is just like this gorgeous energy about you that you're very, it's not that you're introverted, you may be, and you're definitely, I don't feel that being an extrovert, but just a beautiful complement of both energies when needed. You definitely withdraw and go within with your music, but there's an expression of you that comes out only when you are doing music. So with this card, you know, we have a flute player. You have many people around you. You are working from your crown chakra, like you channeled music. You channeled music. So when you expressed yourself with music, you were bringing in kind of like the angelic energies, other realm energies. Your music was very, very unique. It wasn't of the time. People softened up to this energy, to this new, beautiful music. You led the way. And that is why you got so much attention, because your music was so heartfelt and pulled from another realm. Okay, and that is where the messenger is coming in, because people could feel your music. It could actually take them to places in their hearts and in their minds that made them feel something. And this was like new. This is new to have that kind of expression with music. And then new, especially because you were a woman. So much attention was lavished on you. And your husband also got a lot of attention, but the attention was actually for you. It's very odd, but it may be just that particular time frame. You know, nowadays, if a woman gets attention because she is absolutely stunning and beautiful with whatever she does, it's pretty well accepted. But maybe in this time period, it might not have been accepted. Yeah, so there was a sensitivity about you with pulling through the music. It was healing to others. It spoke to others. It was the messenger. And then the arts cards, the art speaks for itself. You absolutely enjoyed being out in nature. You were definitely a person who was connected to the spiritual realm. We have medicine man, medicine woman. That's kind of how people saw you. This wasn't in the sense of Native American tradition, shamanic medicine man or woman. That's not what I'm picking up from this. I'm picking up more your music was healing to others. It affected them so deeply, even with how you spoke. So with the Devil card, it was like you sitting in your power and in your energy and in your gorgeousness of gifts. There were people around you, including your husband, that felt so threatened by this. So you, in this particular lifetime that you're living right now, you may come across a lot in your relationships where you're like, why the hell is this guy jealous of me? Like there's that vibe. You've carried this confusing energy. Oh my gosh, okay, now this makes sense. The Two of Pumpkins. Being confused, weighing of what the heck is this person acting like this for? So it's prominent enough, this energy, that you are bringing it into this lifetime. And you are going to find men, women, your relationships may have a theme of people being envious or jealous of you. And you are completely confused by this. So whatever gift you have in this particular lifetime, I think that is going to draw you a lot of attention. I almost feel as though you're going to replay this lifetime into this lifetime because there's confusion. But I think you're really going to be working on it in a spiritual way this time, as where this lifetime was more of a earthly way and not having a true deep understanding and climbing the spiritual ladder. Yes, you were sensitive. Yes, you were deep. Yes, you channeled music. Beautiful, beautiful. There may be times where you actually turned your back on your feelings and emotions, people around you, because of that, not understanding that. We have the Queen of Cups. She is the queen of intuition, of emotion. And at some point, I think you said you had enough. Because what you were creating was so beautiful. But kind of like in the end, it was like overwhelming, and then the not understanding of where this was coming from. It was almost too much. Like you had to turn your back to it. And maybe it was just turn your back to it at certain times when it became too overwhelming for you. So I think the lifetime you're leading now, as we say, when things become too much, we check out for a while. So you may have these arrows of energy coming towards you, and you're like, oh, I'm done with this. I got to check out for a while. And then you might come back to it, because what you have is an enormous gift from Spirit. In whatever way it takes shape or form in this lifetime, it's a huge gift from Spirit that you carry over from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So you may dream of having this musician type career, or whatever music stands for you, but you may be feeling like a weird drawback to it, even though you know it's something that you dream about and want to do. And the Emperor, I think the Emperor is just saying your power and your ability was so soft and so gentle and so kind and so enormous that it just threatened people. And then once again, the Spouse. It was a huge threat. So I think you had love in this lifetime, but it didn't show you true love. Because with true love, there wouldn't be, you know, that crazy jealousy, trying to take the spotlight off of you, being jealous of all that you have accomplished. Take a drink here. So now we have the Four of Cups. So I feel like for a long time, your life, you were illuminated. You were so happy and felt so complete. I almost feel like the husband, with his constant enviousness, feeling jealousy of what you had created for yourself and all the attention that you got, and then all the attention that he got about you, was too much for him to handle, especially in this time period. Even in the time we live now, some people would not be able to deal with that kind of energy. I would love to know what you do in this lifetime. If you're a musician in this lifetime, or another creative, artsy type field. And I want to know if you guys are feeling in this lifetime as if somebody is holding you back, or if your partner's jealous. It would be very interesting to know that, if you care to share that. Okay, and then our last card. This card I pulled because I wanted to know what you were bringing from your past life into this life. I really like this card. Revenge. Now, if you were famous and you were getting the word out and you were getting your messages out, and that was taken away from you by basically an emotional beatdown constantly, maybe you carried some revenge in this lifetime with the relationships that you have. There's going to be at least one relationship that you have in this lifetime where at some point within that relationship, you have never felt like this before throughout the many relationships you've had in this particular lifetime that you're living now. You do come across someone who you are madly in love with, but there is a feeling that you want to torture them. There's almost that feeling of you standing across the room, side-eyeing this person. And even when you ask yourself, why are you acting this way? Yourself is basically giving you the clue right there that it's a past life situation. The bells and whistles go off. Because if you're in a relationship with someone and you're side-eyeing them and you don't even know what for, it could be this energy from that lifetime. It could be your partner from that lifetime. You were so pained by turning your back on your gift in this lifetime that, yeah, I think it definitely has carried over into this one. Okay, that is all I'm seeing for pile number 2. I hope this reading resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I absolutely love doing past life readings, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, pile number 3. If you chose this pile, this is your past life reading, and this is the Sunstone. Okay, so the Halloween Tarot is going to tell us kind of the general energy, and let's see what we have. The Page of Bats. So messages coming in, all ways of communication. So we will see how this applies as we go through the reading. We have the fairy cards from Brian and Wendy Fraud. I think I said that right. Heartless Love, the Boy, the Temptation, the Star Fairy, Past Life Cards, the Mother, Imprisonment or Slavery, Authority Figures. Definitely picking up on the energy here. Freedom, this was your life lesson. Let's see, what are these called? Oh, the Vice Versa Tarot. So we have the Page of Pentacles. Let's see, Queen of Pentacles. Four of Swords. I believe this is Judgment. Oh boy. And the Sun card. So the tarot cards are just to give us a little bit more information. And the last 2 cards are some of the issues that you have dealt with, that you may be bringing them in to the lifetime that you're living now to work through from this lifetime. Hiding your true self. Forgetting oneself. Okay. So this reading is very, very clear to me. You guys can take a moment and pause the video and look at the imagery. So pile number 3. We have the Heartless Love and the Mother. So the Heartless Love and the Mother, I feel as though in this lifetime that you did not receive the love and respect from your mother. Now, what I am getting from this is, I don't know how far back in time, what I am getting is a disability, some form of disability. We have the Boy card. And I feel as though you were definitely male in this lifetime. I feel as though you may have even passed in your teens and early 20s, somewhere around in there. So whatever disease or disability, deformity, it's like this triangle of energy right here that is capturing me in saying this. So it was almost like back in those times, if your child wasn't perfect, then they were kind of thrown to the side. They weren't given the attention. They weren't given the love that they needed because there was something wrong with them. There may even be an energy around you in your lifetime right now where you feel as though you are not worthy, you are not good enough. You may have abandonment issues. This lifetime, absolutely, I could see carrying over into many lifetimes down the road for you to emotionally work through. So then we have temptation and the Star Fairy. So with temptation, I feel as though you tried to get people's attention, almost like I'm having throat issues, like you couldn't breathe properly, couldn't get the words out, can't speak well. Maybe that too was because if you were thrown to the wayside, then maybe you didn't learn. So there was definite communication. Oh, looky there. Okay, with the Page of Bats, that was all about communication. I feel as though now it's connecting with the mother energy and you as a child, a young boy, to where maybe you didn't learn, you couldn't communicate, maybe you had, maybe you were kind of like autistic, you couldn't get the words out. So interesting. And the temptation card is just really wanting to get the words out. I feel as though this just came through. I feel as though there was someone that did work with you. And there was an understanding. So even though you couldn't speak or you had some form of disability, you could get information, you could learn, and someone was helping you. And maybe that's where the Star Fairy comes in. Maybe like a grandmother type energy. So in this lifetime, you had a really, really strong energy towards a grandmother. And the lifetime that you're living right now, maybe one of the closest people to you is a grandmother figure. Someone definitely older. So the mother is not sharing herself with the child. The imprisonment or slavery could have to do with you feeling as though you are imprisoned within your own body. You are imprisoned within the house that you live in. I don't know if they would have sent you off to a mental type ward. I do feel as though you did spend some time there, but it wasn't until you got older. I almost feel a back and forth. There's like a back and forth energy of back to mom, back to wherever she put you. A back and forth, almost in her mind as if she's seeing as you age if anything's different. It's really weird energy. We have authority figures. I feel as though this was your father, this was your mother, this was the medical system, the mental system at this particular time. I think in the lifetime that you're living now that you have a really hard time communicating or getting your point across. Almost like you feel tongue-tied in the life that you're living now. And it's something that you're almost embarrassed about, weighs heavily on you. And I want you to know it's from this past life. So by examining this past life yourself through meditation or just relaxing and asking questions and having images and words come to you, maybe there can be some healing. You did have like a fairy godmother type energy. So whether it was at the facility that you were at or whether it was at home when you actually went back home for short periods of time, someone was there that acted differently towards you in a good way. So I feel as though with the Page of Knights, the Page of Pentacles, this is a learning process, and I think you will experience this type of energy throughout multiple lifetimes just due to the simple fact of the deep complexity of this particular life. This is going to play out multiple different ways in multiple different lifetimes. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. You feel as though your mother turned your back on you. So you had feelings and you had emotions. They may not have been like everyone else's, but they were there. With the Four of Swords, I think you had a lot of time to think and contemplate. I don't think that you grew to an old age, but I think this is showing the chaos around you. And you could hear, you could learn, you could know energies and people's words. Just because you couldn't speak didn't mean you couldn't like understand or comprehend some of the things people were saying. Yeah, judgment was passed on you. I think you did have some sort of happiness, and it was more towards the end. I think the end of your life, you had a little bit more happiness because there was an understanding. By being to yourself, by the energies that would visit you, come to you, maybe even explain things, you became like this little boy that could understand energies. It was almost like you had spirit friends. That was your norm. That was how you survived. You always wanted freedom, and in the lifetime you're living now, you probably are like a major traveler, freedom seeker. You don't want to be tied down in a relationship. Nobody loves me kind of thing. You may be carrying that over into the relationships that you have or have had in the past, where you're not understanding. You're not understanding them. You don't understand why you're not lovable. You don't understand. So communication could be a huge ordeal in this lifetime, for the good or for the bad, while you work it out. So these two cards are what you're carrying over from this lifetime into the lifetime you're living now. Forgetting oneself, abandonment. So you may be experiencing abandonment issues in this particular lifetime. Maybe your soul decided, you know, your mom or your dad or both were going to abandon you, or maybe a very, someone in your lifetime, in this lifetime, you feel as though has abandoned you, because in this lifetime you were learning about abandonment, especially right in front of your face. So I wouldn't be surprised if you brought abandonment issues into the lifetime you're living now to continue to work on this energy. Hiding your true self. So I feel as though you keep your words to yourself, your ideas, your creative expression. Everything is like a secret, because in this lifetime, that's what you were used to. Because you couldn't communicate properly, everything was kept to yourself. So I think in the lifetime you're living now, one of your paths would be to open up and express yourself. You may have a blocked chakra in this lifetime, the throat chakra, and maybe in this particular lifetime, your throat chakra was blocked because you did have trouble speaking. So look to some of the clues about this lifetime that are carrying over into your lifetime now, and you will be able to intend and release and cut cords that may help you move farther in your life and quicker, energetically, spiritually, to move some of these cords and blockages. So stop hiding yourself in this particular lifetime. Come forward, come out, speak your truth. Try to come out of this energy. Even if you brought this energy into the life you're living now, come out of those abandonment issues, come out of the communication issues. So this is like intense shadow work for you. Okay, that is it for pile number 3. I hope this reading resonated with you. I enjoyed very much doing this reading. And let me know in the comments if any of this resonates with you. Thank you. Okay, if you chose the Pink Agate, this is your reading. Beautiful stone. Okay, the Halloween Tarot is going to tell us about the past life energies and possible energies that have been brought forth. And this is your reading. 10 of Ghosts. So the 10 of Ghosts is all about family, that family unit, family love, communication, emotions. We'll see how that plays out with this past life reading. These are the fairy cards from Brian and Wendy Frode. Paradox. The Queen of Hearth and Home. That's a gorgeous card. And the Magician. Okay, the story is already coming out for me. But you guys, take a look at the cards as I'm laying them down and see what jumps out to you. See what energy comes out and speaks to you. Yeah, I've already got a clue here. High Priest. Phobias. Trust and Faith. Food and Hunger. Communal Living. Those are the past life cards from Doreen Virtue, I believe. Yes. Okay, so these two cards are from Doreen Virtue also. Your life purpose. You're on the right path. And travel. The vice versa tarot will just give us more information about what is happening here. The Nine of Swords, Two of Pentacles, the Fool, Nine of Wands, and the Magician. And these two cards are energies that may be brought into the lifetime that you're living now because of this lifetime. Naked Before the Stars, Envious Gluttony. Very interesting. So we're going to see what the Ten of Ghosts has to say, because that is the family card and about love. We're going to see how that plays in, because I'm not really seeing that right now. Okay. So the paradox. The Queen of Hearth and Home. So with this lifetime, definitely feminine energy, definitely a witchy vibe, definitely spiritual. I definitely get the feeling that you made stuff happen. This is also a midwife energy. And a midwife helps a person labor or give birth, helps with that process. This is a time period of long ago. I do feel as though you were a prominent spiritual person who could scry, who could read energy. I think for a period of time, it was definitely okay during that time period. With paradox, that would be you are a prominent feminine spiritual metaphysical energy which was accepted at this particular time period. You were looked up to. But then the paradox would be you're a woman of this time and very powerful, but women were not accepted in this way by men. They would be envious of your power, of your abilities. There was definitely an aspect of you that would, I'm getting a very fun gypsy type energy where you would give readings, but they were like really showy readings. Like you would have the big hair and the outfit, even for that time. There was a difference between like maybe a tarot reader and a tarot gypsy entertainer. Like I'm seeing different costumes, different outfits. If someone came to your house for wine or tea, I'm really seeing goblets though, goblets of wine, and being taken into this very stone type room to have readings. But then there was another area or a traveling or something like that gypsy energy. Maybe I'm picking up 2 lifetimes where there was like the showy you. Maybe you were on stage. That was definitely interesting energy. So we have the high priest or priestess. This is how people honored you. This is how people saw you. Okay, guys, sorry about that. My phone was dying. Didn't realize. Then we have phobias. In like some weird way, I feel as though you liked to have that power of instilling fear in people. So in this lifetime, you might have a bunch of fears yourself as kind of like this karmic retribution, which in a sense is kind of funny. But yeah, you liked the power, the ability to cause fear in people. Just like with this magician energy, where you would do the dressing up thing and be something other than yourself, but in a different way. So there's that energy. Trust and faith. Now this is something that I feel very, very strongly about. You are very powerful, highly connected to your source energy. A very powerful person. A lot of times, this is the type of work that you would do just to be able to feed yourself, your family. I definitely want to tap into the energy, the family energy. Let's see. Communal living. So you lived with a group of people. Okay. So I'm tapping into the energy of family. I'm not getting, you did not have family in the sense of children in this lifetime. No children. So you may have a deep desire to have children in the lifetime that you're living now. Or you could be like in this lifetime where you were fully satisfied with who you were and you were on a very spiritual path and didn't feel the need to have that family. Now you did live with others, but you did this work to pay for your way of being in a community and being part of a community. So with the tarot, we have the Nine of Swords. So even though you were a major player, super powerful, you were surrounded by stress and anxiety. You took on a lot of that energy of the people around you. You were a way shower. You were the one that wanted to make everything okay. You didn't want people to live any other way than the best way for them. So you did do wonderful energy work with people. We have the Two of Pentacles. It was almost like your gifts came to you so easily that you didn't understand how others didn't have this power or ability. They weren't tapped into it. You were wondering about different ways of using it. And almost kind of like a power hungry type person, which I feel has carried over into the lifetime you're living right now. I think with the Fool, you just had a very adventurous energy about you. There wasn't anything for you in particular to fear. You were safe with the abilities that you have. It wasn't a time where the Salem witch trials, it wasn't like that. You were able to freely be yourself and then some. And people looked up to you, to your guidance. but you did have some fun with it at times. Definitely a free spirit. And as I say that, we have the Nine of Wands. So this is you. There is a huge amount of responsibility on your shoulders to protect the people within this environment. It was like you were the boss. You were the powerful being. You were the one that could see things coming. You were the eyes and the ears of the spiritual realm, to alert people to what could be coming. So you were the safety person for this community. There was definitely much love and respect for you. And I think with the Magician here, and his back is facing us, but he has a lit candle looking over his area, his living area. You provided spiritual solace to people. You provided what no one else could. You had the insight that no one else had tapped into yet. I just asked Spirit if you were a teacher of this way of energy, and they said, not this lifetime. This time was all about you working your magic, working your powers. The focus was all on you, and that is how it was supposed to be. But they are saying for many of you, because you have this power, this ability, and you achieved what you needed to achieve in this lifetime, that you're coming back in this lifetime, and this is where you'll be teaching and you'll be guiding others. So this was like, you've had many lifetimes of working with energies. I'm trying to see how long you lived. I heard in your 30s. This was the average age. You were set to sea. So I'm seeing, you know, the raft, flowers all over you, and out of respect, there was like this burning of your body out to sea. I don't know what time periods that was acceptable, or that's what they did to people who were especially important. So we're going to take a look back at the Ten of Cups. So Ten of Ghosts, I'm sorry. That is the Ten of Cups in the traditional tarot. So all about family. That community, the relationships. So they weren't deep one-on-one relationships. I don't feel like you were married. I don't feel as though you had children. It's almost like you were feeling safe enough and loved enough by what you did and by the people that you surrounded yourself with, that you didn't feel that need. Okay, you're on the right path. This is something that you always knew. You were always going to be. You didn't have the trouble in your childhood where if you had mediumistic abilities, you were not scared of spirit. So that's telling me that you had tons of lifetimes as a spiritual person working with energies. Okay, so now from this, I am picking up starseed energy. So this energy is coming through also as starseed energy. If you resonate with that, that is why there was no need for children, for family, because you had a direct message to come down, to do the energy work, show people, assist people. So some of you are starseeds. Travel. So your purpose was actually to travel around and give information to the masses, or what was considered the masses. So you may have been considered an earth angel by giving the information that you did. You had a great personality. Your character was funny. And like I said, I get that gypsy, funny type energy. And then I also get the deep spiritual energy when that was needed. This is the energy that you're carrying over from this lifetime into the lifetime you're living now. Naked before the stars. So once again, starseed energy, naked before the stars. I'm thinking alien type energies. Clothes weren't necessary. Maybe you didn't wear a lot of clothes in this lifetime, or less clothes, I should say. There were times where you felt freer being yourself, and a lot of your energy work was done naked. You may feel that in this lifetime. You may resonate with being spiritual. You may resonate with being a witch. You may like to dance under the moonlight. You're bringing this cosmic energy into the lifetime that you're living now. You're very comfortable with yourself, your space, your energy. The only complications I would see in the lifetime you're living now is if you're in relationships, people want relationships with you. I mean, you're like a beacon of light, ultra smart too. Okay, and then the last one is envious gluttony. When you look at this picture, it just looks like she's just totally disgusted by people, which is kind of funny. When you have all that energy coming at you constantly, people constantly asking you and not being in the right space to do the readings or to do the energy type work, and people just are like sucking your energy dry. Thank goodness I've moved past that. But that's what this energy is reminding me of. This is dealing with, I almost feel as though it's like you've reached such a high, beautiful, spiritual, cosmic, starseed energy. It almost feels as though you're bringing in the energy of, you're almost tired of being in this lower level energy, that you wish you could meet someone or people that can rise up to your energy so that you don't feel so alone and you could actually have conversations with. I feel as though people just may be jealous of you, plain and simple. You have an energy that is just powerful. It's beautiful. It's powerful. You do have a playful, funny side. You really don't need people, but maybe at this point, you could start letting people in and maybe teaching some people. some of your amazing, beautiful gifts. Maybe you could teach them about starseed energy, maybe witch energy, spiritual energy. Okay, that is all I have for you, pile number 4. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.